first woman ever elected mayor of this town. And she became the first woman to ever run county government. She went on to become the first woman surrogate. A surrogate, for those of you who don't know, is the head of the guardianship programs in the courts in wills and estates in county government. And she was the first woman in the state of New Jersey ever to be elected to that office. She served in government for 20 years. And on January 11th of 1995, I got a phone call that there had been an accident a tenth of a mile from her home. And she was on her way to a funeral for a wonderful man by the name of Senator Walter Rand. And a tenth of a mile from our home, a home that they had lived in for 28 years, my parents, a home that they bought when my mother and father were pregnant and expecting me as their son. My mother was literally a tenth of a mile from our home, and it was the first snowy day in January. Her car went off the road and hit a tree. Had she had a seatbelt on, she'd have walked away from that accident. But she didn't wear a seatbelt, which is one of the reasons why I come and talk to young people and some of the laws that we pass and how important that they are, because it's a law in the state of New Jersey that we wear a seatbelt. My mother, who was a magnificent woman and a beautiful woman, she was a larger woman. She was very vain about how she, because of her weight, she always wanted to look beautiful and impeccable. So she was afraid to wear a seatbelt because it would wrinkle her clothes. Think of how stupid that is. That you were afraid that your clothes would be wrinkled. So now that we have lost her, what a tragedy, what a sacrifice. I would much rather have her be wrinkled than be with us today. But I learned from her life experience the difference that you could make in government. Because a couple days after the accident, the headline in the newspaper wasn't "First Woman Mayor Dies in a Car Accident" or "First Woman Freeholder Loses Her Life." The headline in the newspaper was "A Community Has Lost Its Mother." And the way I was raised and how I grew up, and you're learning a lot about leadership, the greatest titles that you will ever have aren't mayor or freeholder or assemblyman or congressman. Come on in, guys. It's really mother and father, husband and wife, brother, sister, and friend. And that's what I want you guys to take away from this, is the opportunity that no matter where you come from and what you are, you can make a difference in government public service. My mom was born and raised not far from here in what was then and still is today one of the poorest cities in this country, in Camden, New Jersey. She was born to immigrant parents. Her parents and her grandparents didn't speak English. When she went to kindergarten, much like a school like this, when she went to kindergarten the first day, the teachers came home and said she has to be Americanized because she spoke half English and half Italian. And they worked very hard for her to learn how to read and write the English language. She went home as a child of that time, in that era, and taught her grandparents how to read and write the English language. Her father died when she was 3 years old of cancer.